try and think of my favorite grandpa moment, mostly because anything that he would find funny, he's going to pretend he doesn't remember. Of course, anyone who knows Dan Archibald knows that he remembers all of his jokes. He might sit there looking a bit bewildered, like he's deciding if it's nap time. But somewhere in there, for only a moment, you'll see that little sparkle, that gleam that he tries to hide but can't. There's a little shine that you can see if you're paying attention, and that shine says it all. It says he's proud of himself because no one makes Grandpa laugh as much as Grandpa. But it's also excitement because someone else remembered one of his best jokes. At this point, you might wonder how I know all of this, how I can read so far into someone's mind. I'll tell you, though it should be obvious, I do the same thing. It's hard to count how much I've learned from my grandpa, but one of the most important is that you should always look for the humor in life. And because of that, I am always looking to make a joke. And I love it when someone brings up a joke that I made in the past. It means that they have a sense of humor. It means that if nothing else, they get a good joke when they see it. So I want to thank you for that, Grandpa. You taught us all to laugh at any and everything, anyone and everyone. I really don't know where we would be without that. We might even be like well, I won't say, but you can fill in the blanks. Anyways, I really have trouble thinking of a specific best moment with Grandpa because they're all mostly the same. I mean that in the most positive way. All of my memories with him involve either smirking for a very long time as he pulls off a prank, or him cracking up because I made a particularly good joke. You would think that him cracking up at my jokes wouldn't be a huge deal, but for a man who is literally always chuckling, he rarely cracks up. You can always tell when he appreciates a joke, but it's got to be something else to get him really going. One of my favorites that still cracks me up is when Delaney was laughing and laughing, just absolutely tickled at something Grandpa was doing, and I popped a big napkin right in her mouth when she took a big hit. That moment when she's getting ready to somehow be even louder, and it caught her off guard and made her stop for a second, and then all three of us just lost it. We all sat and crackled together for at least a solid few minutes. If you're wondering, I was at least 20 when this happened, so don't think that it was a cute little kid thing. It's full-grown Archibald humor at its best. But that one isn't my favorite. It's just a great summary of the time I have spent with Grandpa. My favorite was on my second year of ASP. I got to spend a week of Grandpa where he didn't have to listen to the one person who is powerful enough to make him do anything other than pranks. I was pretty excited. Yeah, when Grandma's gone, the rules go out the window. It went pretty much how you would expect. He did way more work than all of the teenagers. He got real food instead of whatever trash they served us every single day at lunch. And he snored louder than everyone else every single night. All that was cool and funny, but it's pretty normal for Grandpa. He's going to get his work done and then sleep hard. My favorite moment, though, was at the very end of the trip. We were driving back to Indy, and we stopped at the mall to eat. Everyone was done eating, and we were taking the escalators towards the exit. So like 50 people are going up the escalator at once, and I noticed that something is going on the down escalator out of the corner of my eye. Apparently so did everyone else, because it seems like we all looked over at once. And so did a bunch of people in the mall. Because there was a 70-year-old man going up the down escalator. As I write this, it makes me think that this probably happens a lot. Some old man gets confused and tries to go up the top. And he trips and stumbles, and it's all quite sad because he got mixed up. That's not what this was, though. This was a much crazier and coherent old man moving very quickly up the down escalator, and the entire time with a big smirk on his face. I think about that pretty often, to be honest. I love it. I love it because it's hilarious on the most basic level of humor. I love it because it's hilarious on at least a few others as well. But it really stuck with me because it was my grandpa showing that he is always going to do things his way, and that was the only way he would ever be satisfied. Because he made it to the top, he was out of breath, but still smiling just This moment helped me realize that I also am never going to be satisfied with anything other than doing things my way. Well, Taylor's known that for like a while. What a relief. There was a time when I thought that I would have to do what other people do, but clearly I don't. When there's a guy out there who has a big family that is crazy about him, who married the craziest, toughest, and sweetest woman there ever was, and all he ever did was what he wanted to do, and be crazy. Thanks, Grandpa, you're my hero. Love, Taylor.
From brother-in-law